And good Saturday morning. Beautiful outside for
Couldn't
a
be
change.
better.
Yeah, no rain. What's the deal? This may be 2 full days in a row without any
I
rain.
was down all week with sinus trouble with all that damp, wet.
Hey, you don't need to say that about it. Oh, damp, wet. I got
wet,
you. Yeah,
wet,
damp.
rainy every day.
I'll agree with what I thought you said. It has been a
It's
wet winter. I'll tell you that right now.
Yesterday and today.
It's coming again.
Gorgeous.
It's coming again. You know, well, obviously we're going to get rain again, but
Oh, yeah.
if it, yeah, warm again. When we get precipitation, it warms up. No chance of snow, I think, until 2035.
Sounds good to me.
Something like that. Brett hates the snow.
Well, this has been like 376 or 7 days since we had snow, something like that.
Really?
I saw that somewhere.
Okay.
yesterday.
So over a year, in
Yeah.
other words. So
Yeah.
usually
Last
if we
January, I guess.
yeah, usually if we get it, it's I don't know. I guess it is January if you look at it most times. We had some of the bigger ones in March, but
yeah.
the March ones are rare. But
They are
when we do
rare.
get them, they're usually pretty heavy.
Why not February?
But-
That seems to be the
I
month
don't
it
know.
should be.
I don't know.
It never is.
You know, usually I always thought about this. You know, usually in January, you remember you always get a 70-degree stretch.
Yeah.
And the week after that's when it snows.
Mhm.
You know, it seems like it's.
You best describe our weather as mercurial.
Yeah.
How's that, Butch? You like that word? Yeah. Up and down.
Oh, it is. It's definitely that. And with the rain that we've had, the ground just stays completely soggy
Yeah.
outside. There's your word, Mike. Soggy.
Yeah.
That's my word for
Good
the
word.
day because that seems to describe what we have had. I look here, and for some reason, I must have had something wrong. Brett will inform me real quick. I see a lot of NBA scores last night. I thought it was All-Star Weekend. Am I wrong on that?
I think it's NHL All-Star Weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I have my initials wrong. Not NBA All-Star. And I always thought the NBA one is after the Super Bowl, like a week or two after the Super Bowl. Is that not right? But now,
It looks like it's 2 weeks away.
so that would be the week after the Super Bowl. Where do we stand as far? I hadn't got the records up here in front of me. Where do we stand as far as halfway point of the
Past
NBA?
it.
Are we?
Yeah, Boston has played. That's his first team I see in the standings. 53
games.
53 games.
53 games.
53
So
and 41's a halfway
only
point.
29 games left for them.
Yeah. So I wonder why they wait so late to do.
Yeah, no, it's
I have a
Maybe
theory
they think that's
on what I think. I have a theory.
well.
on-
They got to wait till NFL's over,
Exactly.
or nobody's going to watch.
exactly. That's
right.
it.
That's
and,
basically it.
and the only other time you could do it would be
This week,
weekend
yeah.
because nobody's going to watch the Pro Bowl
No.
if there is one.
Well, I heard a comment
Flag
yesterday or one day that all the All-Star games are jokes except for baseball because the pitcher still wants to get the batter
Oh
out.
yeah. Well, at least you've got that one-on-one
You
competition.
got that one-on-one competition?
And nobody wants to. You know, the defenders still want to make the play.
Yeah.
The batters still want to hit
Yeah,
the
I
ball.
mean, you still want to do it
But-
like you would normally.
I
but the risk of
enjoy.
injury compared to the other sports in
Yeah, it's
baseball,
very
though,
it's much like
yeah.
I enjoy the NBA All-Star game.
the actual game itself.
Yeah. The NFL Pro Bowl is just a waste of time.
Will flag make it better, or will they still just walk through the? You know,
I don't know.
You
It
can still get injured.
If you finally tell everybody what it is, let's just play a little flag football. I mean,
What else could they do if they wanted something to showcase those players? Is there anything else
Yeah,
they could do?
there's
Maybe they
nothing
should
else
play
they
a
can do.
basketball game.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
it'd
Or
be
a
less
baseball game.
dangerous than putting their bodies out there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying you can't be injured in basketball because
Oh, yeah.
basketball does bring on some of the most serious injuries when you.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
a lot more ACLs
Knees.
compared to the amount of people that play basketball
Mm-hmm.
as to football. I mean, what is the roster now? 45 man versus 14 or 15 on an NBA
53
team.
versus
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, 53 men. So a lot bigger rosters. So there's more chance of injuries, obviously, but more people on the court or field. 22 versus 10 as well. But what was that? Was it Paul George? That was one of the worst injuries I'd seen. Wasn't he
Yeah.
the one run into the
Broke his leg.
goal
Yeah.
base?
And that
1
was
year.
in Team USA practice, basically like a exhibition game for
Was
Team USA. Yeah.
Also, I remember
Even during the NBA season.
Kid from Louisville.
Oh yeah,
Who snapped his
What
leg
was his
in
name?
two, and right in front of Rick Pitino, his head coach, and Pitino looked like he about passed out
Keontae
when it
was
happened. 'Cause
Keon.
it was so ugly. I got no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that's one of the ugliest
Yeah.
injuries we've ever seen.
In any sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. When his yeah.
Even maybe worse than Joe
Felt,
Theismann.
felt bad for that guy right in. Well, I'm gonna say
Alex
the worst one
Smith.
we ever seen is that.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith.
He almost lost his life.
He did.
Man.
And if you've seen pictures afterwards of his leg,
Oh.
it looks like a jigsaw
Yeah.
puzzle that was put back together.
And
So.
I thought it was great that the Redskins let him come back, and he just made a token appearance, right? He actually got in the
Well, he
game.
played a
little
good
bit.
part of that season where
Did
he came back. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he had
Okay.
some playing time after.
Did he?
Yeah, and if you
Okay.
see
After
what
the
his
brutal
leg
injury.
looks like, you would never
I know,
never imagine him
it's very-
playing in the NFL.
Yeah, that's right. It's an unusual looking leg.
It
which-
looks like it was sewn together.
Yeah.
Just to
It was.
just to make it happen. Just to make it happen. Of course, there's a lot more stuff you don't even see
Mhm.
under that skin and under the under those muscles, the bones themselves. What kind
Speaking
shape
of
were they
him, I
in?
know Andy Reid once said that Alex Reid was the brainiest, smartest quarterback he ever coached. As far as intellect and
heard
understanding
that.
the
I heard
game.
that too.
He wasn't the greatest
Interesting.
athlete,
Yeah.
or passer, but
Yeah. I just sitting here thinking about it. When there's a bad injury on a game now, you guys watch the replay or not?
No.
I don't. No,
I don't want to see it again either. I didn't want to see it the first time.
right.
I didn't want to see it the first time. But,
Especially the
usually I will
broken
shy
the
away.
broken bone, like
Yeah.
broken legs.
Yes, it's the
Now I watched the one when the y'all gonna have to help me with his name already. Just a few weeks ago, the Buffalo kid that we thought was going to lose his life on the field, but see, it wasn't.
Lamar.
It was not as much injury there as it was health condition. He got hit hard, and it probably triggered the cardiac arrest. But
right.
But I don't think that.
DeMar Hamlin,
Yeah.
I believe.
Thank you, Lenny. Here's your name, Kevin Ware. Kevin Ware is the
That's
Louisville
right.
player that we were trying to think of. That
I wonder whatever happened to him. I doubt if he played basketball again. I don't know. I kind of lost track.
I don't know, Mike. I mean,
I think he played again. I don't know what level
Yeah.
he played. I don't know if he played for Louisville after that. Or,
so you don't think he's in the NBA?
No, I don't think he
I
was
don't
NBA
think so.
talent
I don't
Okay.
either.
anyway.
I mean, obviously he was a big time. Yeah, he was a major college player, but
Maybe he can play some league basketball, like
yeah,
things like Brett participates in, and or some pickup games. Go to the gym and still play and enjoy the game.
some hellos from Facebook guys. Milton Sane, Stephen Lowe.
Good. Good morning
Good morning.
to those. Good morning to Lenny as well. He's already sent me a answer here to a question we had. The Louisville player, Kevin Ware.
Kevin
and
Ware,
now
that's right.
now that he said it, I remember the name.
Yep.
But I would have never come up with it. I don't think I would have.
That was that against Duke?
Yeah, it was.
Is
In
that
the
who they
Elite
were
Eight.
playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Didn't even remember that.
That's probably why I was watching.
Yeah. Just snapped it. Snapped it right
Yeah.
into. While we're on the subject, can Kyrie Irving's trade request affect the rest of the league? I heard he asked for a trade. Brett, any reason on any thoughts
Can't
on the
come
reason?
to an agreement.
Yeah, he's. I guess his contract runs out at the end of the year. They were trying to work out an extension, and him and the Nets just couldn't agree on it. So, I guess
Time to
he
move
just
on.
wants to go ahead and get out of there now.
Can you imagine him at Dallas?
Is that a
That's the
possibility?
name I heard.
Yeah.
Was-
Yeah, I heard they were one of the main teams.
Is that what
Interested.
Dallas is missing to have a championship type team, or is it something else?
I don't really know.
I mean, are they good enough to be a championship team right now?
Well, I mean,
I'm asking because I don't know.
having a
I
good
don't-
year.
I don't know. I would say no, but they're on primetime TV tonight, and Luka's out with injury.
Yeah, I
so,
bet they love that, don't they? 28 and 25 on the season is Dallas, so that tells me, just in my
Probably
mind,
not.
first thought, no
Probably
no
not.
threat for a title.
No.
Not when you've got
playoffs, yes. But,
yeah. Jim Mora and the playoffs.
but Milton Zane asked the question: does anybody want that head case? Who is
exactly?
Tyree?
That's another thing. I mean, yeah, it better be a head coach that can handle that situation.
So here's some info on Kevin Ware. He came back the next year, played for Louisville. Then he transferred to Georgia State, played 2 years there. Averaged.
Well, that's good that he was able to play again.
Averaged
really good.
12 points in his second year at Georgia State, won conference tournament MVP.
All right.
Even went to the NCAA tournament and upset third-seeded Baylor.
Wow.
When he was at Georgia State.
So he ended on a blaze of glory. That's great.
Never made it to the NBA, but he did play professionally in Europe.
All right.
And right before you started reading that, Lenny had sent me a message, said he think he transferred and tried to play somewhere else. So there you go. Georgia State.
No, that had a happy ending for him.
Well, I guess.
Fulfilling.
Yeah. But
pretty fulfilling.
Yeah, I guess he would be happy with that, even though he had to go. Well, with Louisville's situation, why didn't he keep him? What's their record? 3-80.
Oh boy.
Well, at that time they won a national championship that year.
Did they?
That he got hurt.
Okay.
With Pitino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, the title was later taken away.
Golly, I'm scared to ask what.
How many
year would
schools
that
have
been?
had a championship taken away?
14, I think. 13 or. This is
You're talking about the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
13 or 14. Brett come off that off the top of his head. That was great. I mean,
are there any schools beside Louisville that's had a national title stripped from them because of
in basketball?
Improprieties?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Can't think of one.
How many people in the sports world that follow it like we do now don't consider them the national champs that year? 2%?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still want it.
Still want it.
I don't know if they make you take the NCAA banner down.
Yeah.
But they probably can't make you take down the Louisville banner that says, it's your gym and your place. If you want to put up a banner.
And what did they do? They broke recruiting
I don't know.
rules or
looking
or
back.
what? I mean,
given what's happened to
those
the
players still
NCAA.
chose to go to Louisville and they won the title on the court. I mean,
Can you break rules today?
even like
what rules?
Even the Southern Cal thing back in the early 2000s. I mean, I still consider them.
Oh yeah,
the national
I still
champions.
consider Reggie Bush the winner of the Heisman Trophy.
But did he get it? Does he have it in his?
No, he had to give it back.
Possession right now.
No.
He don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah. I just go.
Yeah, have you seen the commercial?
Get a
What is
replica made.
One of the fast food restaurants kind of riffs on the idea that he had to give it back, kind of thing.
Is he in the commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the commercial.
Which
He's
one
kind of
is
playing
that? I've
around.
seen
I think
Right.
it's a Wendy's.
Yeah, he
Wendy's,
does
yeah.
Wendy's. That is what it is. He does some Wendy's commercials. Your Boston Celtics are 37-16, followed by Milwaukee, who's a game and a half out. That was for Brett, his Boston Celtics. Philadelphia's 2 back.
Well,
Brooklyn 5.
I like Boston's team. I like their players.
Yeah, okay. Just not the franchise with all those banners hanging in there to compete with your rival Lakers, right? I will say this: the Lakers have one more as of late than Boston, that's for sure. Brooklyn 31-25 games out. Then comes Cleveland 5.5, Miami 8 out. The reason there's a dividing line right here is those are the ones that would get in without being in the play-in, right, Brett?
Yeah, top 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then those 4 teams in the play-in tournament. And how many do they play in that play-in? It's not just one game. Is it 2 out of 3?
I think it's one game.
Is it?
I think 7 plays 10.
Yeah, that would make sense. 8
And if,
plays
and
9.
if 7 wins,
They play the winner of 8 and 9 the next day or 2 days later.
I think if 7 wins, they're in. I can't remember how it works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You got to take 8. I mean, there's no use playing that second round of that. There wouldn't be a second round of that.
But I think if the 7 seed loses, I think they get another shot.
The Knicks, the Hawks, the Wizards, and the Bulls are
it's weird how they do
the
that.
East teams that are in that little 4-team bracket that would be in at least in the play-in games anyway. Then on the west side, you got Denver 36-16. They have a 4-game lead over Memphis. Then Sacramento. Why Sacramento get no attention?
Yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, well, they have been.
Have they? If you'd asked me, though, I would have said Sacramento has to be in the bottom 4.
But
I hadn't heard anything about
it was
it.
a
They
big
perennially
surprise.
are. is why.
Is it the one California city that doesn't get the the publicity that you would think in that state? Sacramento's 6.5 out of first. Then comes Dallas, the Clippers, and Phoenix. Those would all be in. Then your play-in teams there would be Minnesota, Utah, Golden State, and Portland. Brett, out of those 8 play-in teams, which one's the best? Knicks, Hawks, Wizards, Bulls.
Oh, it's got to be Golden State.
That's the first one come to my mind. What are they even doing in that situation?
I can't believe we're in that situation. Just
26
barely
and 26.
Well, and look at the.
Are they still the favorite to win the title?
No, I don't see how.
Take Dallas. Dallas is in 4th right now at 3 games over 500. You go all the way down to 13. The Thunder are only 3 games under 500. So from 4 to 13, there's just a small amount of separation.
Yeah,
so that could change a lot.
I can't understand the Warriors are 7-20 away from home. They can't win on the road. It's just baffling.
A couple messages rolling in here. Jason says the NCAA made Louisville take down their banner, although Luke Hancock is still recognized as the most outstanding player of that Final Four in 2013. They were punished for recruiting violations for the stripper parties.
The stripper parties on campus. That's right.
And dads of the recruits, and they were involved with the FBI scandal in 2017.
Yeah.
The FBI scandal was what led to Patino being fired.
Mm-hmm.
No more. I thought I was going to get to the violations here soon.
Yeah.
Lenny said 2013 won the title that was vacated. Okay. I ask you, Lenny and Jason, just a yes or no. Do you still consider them the national champs? I mean, I do. I mean, I can't help it. It's just in my head. They won the national championship.
But officially it goes down. They won it in, 80, 82, and 86, right?
They're one of the ones that got caught.
Yep.
I mean, and I don't know if there have been more. Jason or anyone might know. Have we had basketball teams or college football teams that have had to vacate a national title because of
I do know that UMass's trip to the Final Four was wiped out with Calipari.
Right.
He was there. They just made it to the Final Four, but that was vacated.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going back and replaying it because one team was, you know what I mean?
You're right.
They're not going back and replaying it again. A couple things here. I got Lenny and Jason on here. Jason says he does consider Louisville as the champs for 2013. He also said Reggie Bush never returned his Heisman. USC returned their replica of his Heisman,
but he never
and took down
his.
the jersey.
Okay.
And out of the Ring of Honor for Heisman winners. But they're still trying to chase Reggie Bush and still can't catch him. He's running with that Heisman.
Yeah, really.
And breaking all kind of tackles. Lenny said, just looked up info on where signed with Iraqi Basketball League.
Okay.
Well, that's got to be fun. Iraqi Basketball League in January of 22, so a year ago. And Lenny says also, yes, he does consider it. Otherwise, the season was a farce. You just can't change
what happened.
What happened?
History.
You can't change what happened. Is the biggest one ever the Black Sox?
Allegedly the
Chicago White Sox back in 19.
Black Sox.
What year would that have been, Mike?
Was it 19?
Were you there?
I was a Cub reporter.
It's too young to be there.
They didn't give me that assignment.
Yeah, 1919. But we still look at. I don't know. Are they still world champs in people's minds? Were they back then? Might have been a little different back then, But this day and time, it just seems like, without lack of a better term, everybody's got baggage. Every team's got baggage. Yeah. It's the ones that they investigate and catch it that are punished. So
of course, Shoeless Joe. He's even though he's a great player, he's always been associated with that, hasn't he?
Do you look down on him for that or not? I don't. I think it's a great story, and the story made it kind of out. I mean, like
the team
or something.
Lost the World Series.
Did
right?
they lose?
They
it?
lost on
Lost
purpose,
it.
right?
Yeah. That was the
Okay.
whole problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you consider them the world champs?
Again, no.
Back to that. Do you consider them the world champions? Yeah, not sure. Probably not, since they didn't win it. You know, this is the first Sunday, and coming up tomorrow that
It's
no
gonna
football.
be weird.
No football in quite a
I'm
while.
feeling the strangeness already.
Even though, how did you enjoy the last 2 weekends in the pro football world? Was it good for you? Was it what you expected? Were the games up to par?
Very disappointed in the 49ers and the Eagles game. I mean, I know there was extenuating circumstances, but at 31-7, I wanted more.
Yeah, but how are you not prepared if you're San Francisco to have a quarterback who is not going to be as good as Purdy? Of course, you never expected Purdy to be that good.
Yeah.
But a quarterback that can at least get you some form of offense. And Johnson could not do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he almost looks he's a 10-year veteran, is he not? He almost looks scared to death out there.
16-year
16-year veteran.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
But he had I don't know, it just looked like we may might as well put Sullivan out there, who's not here to defend
He's not here
himself.
to defend himself today, by
But
the way.
I mean, that it kind of looked like that, and then at times I thought they looked better without a quarterback.
Yeah, just handing it off. Yeah, letting McCaffrey take the
If
snap.
he could have thrown it all, and I don't think he ever attempted a pass, did he, McCaffrey?
Yeah. No.
If
Another thing,
He's
David,
0 for 1.
Okay, 0 for 1.
and the ending of the Cincinnati-Kansas City game, even though it was, ended in dramatic fashion, but with the penalty and
Why did he hit him that far out of
I
bounds?
don't know.
And it almost looked like he hit him twice.
Yeah.
He was following him, and
But
and then he felt awful on the bench. That's a bad scene when you see him crying, sitting there on the bench when the game's over. I hate that, and I feel bad for him. I really do. I did.
But
I
you
mean,
can't make that mistake.
No, you can't. You can't. I mean,
So those, last Sunday, which should have been the best Sunday of the NFL season, just I don't know.
it was. It was not.
It was not good.
It didn't live up to.
Well, even the weekend before,
the
the
hype.
games weren't great.
No, they weren't great either.
There
Seemed
were-
like there was one.
Well, the Cowboys and 49ers was
Yeah,
close,
it was
but
close,
it wasn't a
but
good
It
game.
wasn't a good game.
It
The
was-
best one was Jacksonville and Kansas
Yeah,
City.
that's the
that
one.
was the best
That's the one I
game.
was trying to think of. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
and if
Cincinnati
Kansas
and
City, just think
Buffalo,
about it.
not a good game.
If Kansas City does win the Super Bowl, just think Jacksonville with the confidence they're going to gain from that, how close we were to that being us in that situation, moving it ahead into the
Eagles-
23 season.
The Eagles beat the Giants 38-7, and then 31-7 over
You know
the
what?
49ers.
I don't think the Eagles got the
rolling right
credit
now.
that they deserved all season long. I mean,
Yeah.
they pretty much destroyed both playoff teams, and
And until the injury to Jalen Hurts, they were rolling.
They
They
were.
were dominant.
they were. I haven't seen the line.
And they were going to beat the 49ers.
Yeah,
even
they
if
were
Brock
gonna beat
Purdy
them.
had
they were.
not got hurt. It would have probably been a little closer.
Yeah,
But
but they were going to beat them by a couple touchdowns.
I've not seen the spread on the Super Bowl, but I'm guessing
neither.
7-10.
only 2.
Really,
No.
The Eagles by
it's,
2 right now.
Yeah, it's close.
I think they're just clearly a better
I
team.
think they're a
right
better
now.
team.
They don't have the flashy stars. They got a couple, but they don't really have those flashy guys that
True.
Kansas City has out there. But they are blue collar,
yeah.
and they do their jobs
Mahomes
very
is
well.
the difference. A healthy
Yeah.
Mahomes makes
And
that
he's got
game
2 weeks now.
makes it a game.
Yep, he's got 2 weeks now.
He does.
I'll say this: if he wins that Super Bowl over them, and he very well could, then he is MVP material.
Yeah.
You know, because between him and Kelsey, they have to have a great game, I think.
But if he loses that game, then he's gonna start to.
What's he
going to
be in Super Bowls? 1 and 2? Is
1
this
and
just his
2.
third?
Yeah, he'll be 1
It's
and 2.
okay. I mean,
Yeah,
they're going to be back more and more, and so is Joe Burrow and the Bengals. By the way, I mean you're going to have to go through those two teams for
who's
a
the
while
losingest quarterback in the Super Bowl?
in the
So
AFC.
Jim Kelly, he's got to
Jim
be
Kelly,
right.
04,
Fran Tarkenton lost 3,
3,
I think.
Yeah.
Elway lost.
2 before he won.
Brady,
Was it just
Brady
2?
lost 3.
Brady lost
That's
3.
right,
Yeah,
he did.
Brady lost 3. Yeah, that's what they never talked about that, did they?
They never did.
Brady lost 3 Super Bowls.
By the way, I went to see 80 for Brady. Thumbs down.
Thumbs down? Yeah.
fluff. It's okay, I guess.
Was it an elderly crowd that slept through the movie?
Yeah. A couple people had to be, awoken.
Oh, at least you didn't say revived.
After the credits rolled.
I thought you might say revived there.
No, I was just, you take those three actresses and you think, well, it's going to be funny, it's going to be quirky. It had a few moments, but
Sally Field interviewed this week on Dan Patrick's show.
Sally Field.
If you knew that or not.
Who else? Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin,
Rita Moreno. All right, here we go. I'm going to read a couple more, then we're going to take our time out. Let's see. Jason says the NCAA forced Michigan to take their Final Four banners down 92 and 93 as they had to vacate their appearances. That's odd. Right. That was against Duke and Carolina, right?
Yeah, the
appearances
Fab
in those
Five.
games.
Well, they should have taken the
scandal.
one down against Carolina. I mean, they choked that one away.
Oh, yeah. No timeout.
So technically Duke and Carolina won their titles against no opponent. Yeah, that's pretty odd.
That's right.
Jason also says Elway lost 3, and
wow.
he did. He lost to the Giants, Washington, and 49ers. He lost 3. Yeah. I was thinking like it was more than 2, but I didn't know if it was up to 4.
Well, okay, how many? Just once to the 49ers? And once to Washington.
Washington, San Francisco.
The Giants and Washington were back-to-back.
Yeah, and Giants.
Okay.
Lenny says penalize them, take their money, but the banner hangs up as champs. That's the way he would do it, and I pretty much agree with that. I mean, you can't take away the fact they won the game, and
Yeah.
I mean,
and to me, they didn't cheat.
Yeah.
They didn't cheat to win the game. I mean,
you know what I say about all that stuff though? If that's ever any of that stuff's ever going to be caught and dealt with, it should be before they play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to know that stuff
wait a minute.
before.
We know how the NCAA operates. It takes them 5 years to make a ruling on something that happened.
I know.
And that's why they have no legitimacy anymore.
All right.
For one reason. Yeah.
Time for us to take a timeout. Before we do, the question of the day, music-wise.
Yeah.
You're going to love this.
Okay.
Brett, Mike. What is your favorite song? And it doesn't have to be rock and roll at this point, because I watched a show last night, and I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. What is your favorite song named for a woman? Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, and then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back to Sports Talk, and sometimes a little music mixed in. Your favorite, we're going to give some people the opportunity to hear your favorite song named after a woman. Now, Mike said a couple that don't really have
I know.
proper names, and that's what we want's a proper name, or what do you call that, Mike? A pronoun? No, pronoun would
was a
proper-
word that
would be he, she,
substitutes
and
for a noun.
yeah.
Got to give you a grammar lesson
To
here.
be a proper noun.
I
would
corrected
be a
myself before you
name.
even got to. A proper noun with the name?
Yeah.
And
Proper
I'll say
noun
this.
is the name of someone.
I watched the top 10 last night, and they even did a second round, which would have been the top 20, 11 through 20, which I wasn't expecting. And there's some really good ones that weren't on their list. No humans are going to agree.
No.
But I am going to say this. Jason has named, so far, he has given me the highest ranked on that show last night on Access, the highest ranked song named after a female.
Another song I like that's not a direct name is Foxy Lady by Hendrix. Of course, that's not a real name.
You're having trouble, Mike. You're not playing by the rules.
Can't use Witchy Woman.
All right, let me
you can
give
use
my.
it all you want, but they are not on the list.
Let me give my three before you just start naming
not going-
every
I'm going
song
to.
out there.
How about
Brett's got
Devil with
three.
the Blue Dress On by Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels?
You need to go home, go back to bed, get back up, and come in and try it again.
I'm just kidding.
I got two that popped into my head instantly.
I'm surprised Mike didn't name Elton John's "The Bitch Is Back." But
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
That
The
one
two
too.
that came to mind instantly, which I really like, Eleanor Rigby
on the list.
Love
and
that
Billie
song.
Jean.
Love Eleanor Rigby.
On the list.
But then what I thought of that I like better than those
Don Revels is named number one
is Mary Jane's Last Dance by Tom Petty.
and I can't remember if it's on. I think it is in the top 20, but not the top 10. I'm gonna look here in just a minute. Lenny Anthony is named the one that I like so well, and we already talked about Layla.
Right.
And Layla's high on the list. I'll tell you in just a minute. Brett and Jason have named number 2 on the list, and Don Revels has named number 1 on that particular.
Well, you asked for
list
our
this morning.
favorites.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not
I
trying to
know.
name
I
number one.
no, I
I'm just
know.
giving you my
I know.
favorites.
He would get number 1.
Or ones that I thought of instantly.
You would think a while. You would think a while on number one. And I'm going to tell you, number one is not just the name. It's an adjective and the name.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, I know it's an adjective. You don't even have to correct me on that one. But, yeah, we'll get to, I want to get a few more rolling in here before we go through it. But we're going to talk some college hoops, some high school hoops. Duke Carolina play tonight. It's, to me, I don't know. Maybe I haven't watched as much TV. Seems like the most unpublicized Duke North Carolina game maybe in my lifetime.
It just doesn't have the gravitas of.
Now, don't get me wrong. When those two teams hook up on the court, they're going to want to beat each other as bad as they ever want to beat each other and things like that.
This is
honestly, I think Carolina's a much better team. But where's the game at tonight?
Duke.
It's at Duke. Yeah. And I still keep basing it on
be the only thing keeps
what Carolina did at the end of the year last year.
I know.
And that's why we all think they're a better team is because of what they did last year.
But
it's not what they've done.
If you've watched them this year,
both
teams are just a little above average.
Was Manic that valuable?
He was.
You think?
Because you look at the shooting percentages from three by R.J. Davis and what's the other guy's name? Love. They're way down. I mean, they're not shooting it like they did last year. Now, Baycock's.
And how does that happen? Don't you usually get better?
I know.
As a shooter,
they haven't gotten better.
Or is the defenses better than? Or could they have had? Now, Jason and Lenny, obviously, they can tell me this answer because I haven't watched them that much. I've told you guys I haven't watched college basketball much at all. But we always talk about a Super Bowl hangover. The Rams had it this year. Now, Carolina didn't win the title, but they were there. Are they kind of having a hangover with the same
Duke
group of guys?
made the Final Four.
Yeah,
so you're right.
Well, Duke's got a whole new squad on the court though. That's different. They got one guy back.
One guy back.
But Carolina's got their core back. They don't have Manic, but they got the kid from the Nance guy.
Yeah. Pete Nance.
Is he not just as good as Manic was? Or I'm asking the question.
Made the difference.
Did he?
Because the way he could stretch.
He was an inside-outside guy too.
Three.
I mean, he could play. Yeah. He could play in the paint, or he could shoot.
He played
good
defense too, and I haven't watched him enough to know.
Pete Nance has not been a really adequate replacement for what Manic brought to the table, I think.
And my thought on Carolina at the beginning of the year was Hubert Davis is smarter than we give him credit for because he is letting them ramp up. He don't want them to be playing their best basketball when they come out there and play in November. He don't want that to be their best basketball.
I still think when the dance starts, they'll
look like a different team.
They'll look like a different team. And I'm like you, based on experience, they should be better than Duke. Because Duke has, 11 new players, 10 new players?
Yeah, Richard Howe gives me a list of 3 of those songs, and one of those on his list also highly ranked. One of the other ones Lanny gave me, he liked as a name back from the 60s.
60s,
one of our favorites as well. We'll get into those in a few minutes, but I was just and hadn't heard from Lenny and Jason on the reason maybe for Carolina's woes. I think they're playing better right now than they were. When's the last time they lost?
Wednesday night.
The other night.
Oh, did they?
Against Pitt.
Pitt beat them.
By 1 point game.
Pitt beat them twice?
Yeah, and they beat them
I thought, weren't they on a little bit of a run before that loss?
Yeah, they were. They had won 4 or 5 in a row.
Where was that in Chapel Hill?
Chapel Hill,
Pitt's
baby.
beat them 3 straight times in Chapel Hill.
Hey.
So did Duke hire their own coach?
Well.
I think the jury's out.
I
really
mean,
do.
Okay.
I don't know, but I said after the season ended, I said I thought everything about Duke basketball was going to start to slowly decline. The hate that people have for them.
Yeah, because they're not as good.
Yeah.
No reason to hate them. I mean, there are people that
the
still
rivalry
hate them,
with Carolina.
it'll fade,
the
like
rivalry with Carolina is not going to be the same now that Coach K is gone.
Right.
Yep. Because Carolina fans.
It wasn't the same before he got there.
Well, I'm just going from like my son-in-law, for instance. I mean, he was a devout hater of Coach K, and I think a lot of guys are like him, or a lot of fans are like him. They just hated Coach K.
Yeah, and the reason was because he
won.
Yeah, he brought Duke's program.
Yeah.
Above theirs for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Jason says it's Caleb Love's shooting percentage, which is down significantly. R.J. Davis was shooting over 50% since the Michigan game, but last week against Syracuse, he dislocated a finger.
Oh,
Did he find
right.
it?
Caleb Love, to me, is better in big games.
Yeah.
I mean, he played great in the NCAA tournament last year.
Absolutely.
He's the one guy out of all those you better guard.
He's played really well against
in
Duke.
my opinion.
Oh, he's been
even as a freshman, he played great against Duke.
His career against Duke, he's averaging 20 points a game. I think that's right.
So what's the over-under on him tonight?
He's going to hit for 25. He's going to shoot more 45% from three, and they'll beat Duke. That's how I see it.
Jason said that R.J. Davis's finger he dislocated was on his shooting hand, and the game against Pitt had affected his shot as he was 0 for 6 from the three-point line. Manic's shooting allowed for better spacing.
That's
Nance
right.
doesn't shoot the three as well as Manic.
No, he doesn't.
And he plays more inside. He plays a little more inside.
And I think here of
than Manic
late
did.
they've started to give Nance more chances inside the arc because he's just not that good outside shooter.
Good morning, Monty Mosteller. Monty says Love is too streaky,
Yeah.
and R.J. is playing hurt. So,
Yeah, Carolina was 5 for 27 from three
Terrible.
against Pitt the other night.
Terrible.
tonight they'll be 20. They'll get those 22. They'll be 22 for 27.
By the way, hello from Marco
Tonight.
Arias, who says, could this be the worst Duke-UNC game ever? I don't know about that. But
Well, it might be competitive if they're both bad.
yeah.
So, and don't ever count either one out. You remember the year Carolina was clearly better than Duke, and Capel sent it to overtime. You know,
That's right.
they weren't
95.
Yeah, whatever
shot
it was.
from near half
And then
court.
they, even when the other team is not as good, these matchups are usually entertaining. Let's see. Lenny says Carolina is selfish, which is not UNC. Against
true.
Pitt, Baycott had 10 shots.
I know. He
Fourth
never got the
most
ball.
on the team that night. He needs to touch the ball every possession. It needs to go in and out, which, kick it
Yeah, he
inside,
makes a
kick it
great
back
point.
out. Yep.
Baycott almost disappeared against Pitt. I actually watched some of that game, and they never got the ball to him on the blocks. And that's where
R.J. Davis was 3 for 15 against Pitt.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding, because I'd never tell you. I'd tell you guys if I knew they lost to Pitt the other night. But that's how little I've paid attention really this year to college basketball. Now I'm still going to watch the NCAA tournament. Don't think I'm not. But
well, how about Jeff Capel for ACC Coach of the Year? Could he? Get
where are they
some
at in the
votes?
standings?
Well, they're second place.
Second in the conference,
Yeah.
behind Virginia, or who?
I think they're
Syracuse.
No, is
they're
Clemson
third.
still in first?
Clemson. Are they in first?
Clemson, Virginia, and then Pitt.
Then
Pitt's
Pitt.
9-3.
Pitt's 9-3.
Okay.
And like 17.
Clemson and Virginia have lost 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got State, Miami, Duke, and Carolina have all lost 4.
Is it Brownell at Clemson still?
Yeah.
Why have we not mentioned him for that coach?
Yeah.
of the year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To
he's
me,
gotta
if they stay there, he's getting it.
Yeah, he's getting it.
If they stay there, he's getting it.
I agree.
And maybe if they finish in the top 3, he may get it.
Yeah, they're 10-2 in conference. They're 12-0 at home. Now, they're having a great year. 18-5 overall.
Oh, yeah. How many ACC teams are going? It looks to me like 6 or 7 to the big dance, from what I can see.
Here was my thoughts.
I'm going to guess 8.
8.
I spoke wrong a while ago when I said did Duke hire the right coach, because the first thing you got to check is Duke's playing 80% freshmen, right? What about Pitt?
Absolutely.
What about Pitt?
Oh, they probably got transfers and
So it's
older players.
nothing to do really with the coaching style,
No, it's not
as
the
it does
coach, yeah.
it has to do with experienced college basketball players, because
Well, let's
those guys are
face
going to
it,
win.
even Coach K most years struggled with freshmen in his lineup
Yeah, exactly. Especially as time went on.
as time went on.
You know, it
It
used to
worked
be-
one year in 2015 for a title, but since
It
then,
used to be nobody started as a freshman
Yeah.
in college basketball, and then you had the phenoms come in. And it might be one at a time.
Yeah.
You know,
And
But
where
now it's
Duke
5
really
on some
struggles
teams.
with the freshmen is on these conference road games.
yeah.
They just look bad
Well,
a lot of times.
they're 10-0 at home, and what's their overall record? They've lost.
Yeah,
2
16-6.
2-4 in the conference on the road, and their wins were over really bad teams.
They beat Boston
and
College.
Georgia Tech, and Boston
Yeah.
College. So they haven't beat anybody
Wow.
of note on the road.
Jason says that Love was 4 of 11 from 3-point range against Pitt the other night. Everybody else on the team, 1 for 16.
Ah.
So 4 for 11 is decent.
That's pretty good.
That's decent.
Yeah, that's not
3-point
bad.
range.
That's
That's not
33%.
but you'd like to be around 40.
Yeah.
But that's still decent.
I don't know if you want him taking
a
11 threes every game.
Well, it depends. It depends on when he was hitting them.
To me, they're just
Did he miss his first 5 and then
they're just shooting
got
too
hot,
many.
or
I mean,
something
Here's
like
another
that?
thing about Carolina I noticed. They don't have a bench. They don't play bench.
That's
no,
odd,
they don't.
too.
They don't.
That's very
they don't
odd, too.
play.
That's very strange.
They don't play
for
many
Carolina.
guys.
They usually have as much or more depth than
They
anybody
usually
in the
have
country.
2 or 3 big men that come off the bench and can play.
Yeah, their starters played. Leaky Black played 30 minutes. The rest of them all played 34 or more.
Yeah, they don't.
Their top guy off the bench played 9 minutes and scored 2 points.
Okay,
Whatever happened to
so
Puff
compare
Johnson?
that to Pitt. While you got it pulled up there, the game.
Well, Pitt's top guy off the bench played 29 minutes and scored 10 points.
Wow,
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
it is. Yeah, that's rare for Carolina not to be strong on the bench.
I
And
know. Particularly
that makes
inside.
me wonder: is that does that kind of thing come with a coaching change? Which I think is going to
And I
affect
thought,
Duke too. I mean, the guys wanted to play for Roy Williams and they wanted to play for Mike
The
Krzyzewski.
Styles-
Now these
the
guys have
Styles
to earn
kid
their name.
I
From
think
Kinston. I thought he was going to be good. I thought he'd get playing time this
Who is
year.
that?
Dontrez Styles
Yeah.
Not
from
Harry.
Kinston. Yeah.
How about Harry Styles?
I would rather see Harry Styles on the court for Carolina.
What happened to Puff Johnson? Is he
I think he must be hurt.
okay?
He's
Yeah.
a daddy.
Knee injury. It says we'll play Saturday.
Daddy.
Says he will play Saturday.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
He'll play against Duke. Okay.
Oh, they'll be all 5 first-team All-Americans on.
It looks like he's missed maybe 3-4 games.
Wow.
But
I
yeah,
bet
he can score. He's a good shooter.
Against Duke today, I'm going to say right now that Caleb Love will hit somewhere between 35 and 40% from 3-point land.
Jason says Hubert Davis treats his bench like an NBA team. Who plays off the bench is based upon the matchup. Puff Johnson is usually the first reserve off the bench, but has missed the last 2 games.
Yeah,
So that's really hurt their bench.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have anybody else that has much experience.
right.
On the other side, who's Duke's best player off the bench?
Well, I don't know.
Ryan Young.
Ryan Young. He's solid. He's going to
he?
give
Okay.
you
I'm
10 points, 6-8 rebounds, a couple assists.
Grandison plays
He's
some.
been
Jalen
disappointing.
Blake's. Yeah, Duke's bench hitting good either.
Yeah.
They do get production out of Ryan Young.
Ryan Young has been the only productive.
And then, before the
Not sure I know.
before the
They had a
Whitehead
good
injury,
bench.
they had a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
Who was coming off the bench then?
Yeah.
Was Proctor coming off the bench?
Yeah, more so. But Proctor's now firmly entrenched as the point guard, and
Oh yeah, they've moved Roach.
Roach is
off
playing
the ball.
off the ball,
And
which
I
I
think
like
that's-
him better off
yeah.
the ball.
And injury had a lot to do with
Yeah.
that. He just can't handle the workload.
Right.
Well, I did not know where Pete Nance came from, but Jason says it's a Northwestern reunion.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Pete Nance and Ryan Young.
Pete Nance
Both
and Ryan
played
from
for
Northwestern.
Played for
Chris Carter at Northwestern.
Collins.
Chris Carter.
Collins. I'm sorry.
That would be unique. They played for Chris Carter.
The football wide receiver. Yes. But yeah.
Lenny says 3rd time in the last 5 seasons, both teams have been unranked when Duke and North Carolina met. Both 3 times in the last 5
Now that's
seasons.
unusual.
It is. It is.
And there had only been 3 matchups in the previous 50. No, maybe
All the way back to
70 seasons.
1960.
So one of those seasons was Roy Williams' season, right? His
Yeah.
final one,
Yeah.
and they were unranked when they played. I can't even remember that, but
Well,
They weren't
Carolina,
very good.
Carolina had a season, the COVID year, where they didn't have the NCAA tournament.
Right.
Carolina was not good that year, and Duke was just,
average.
or a little above
No.
average.
Duke was really good that year, and had they had the tournament, I think they'd have made a run.
That's the way to think, Mike.
I'm serious. They had Vernon Carey
Being-
inside. They had
They were good. Trey
Trevor,
Jones,
They had Trevor
Yeah,
Jones.
I do remember Kerry. He was pretty good.
They were pretty
Yeah.
good. They were really
Yeah.
good. that year.
Cassius
Clay.
Cassius
Winston.
Clay in one corner. Cassius Winston.
Or no, was that
No, that was
Cassius Stanley?
Cassius Stanley.
Winston played for Michigan State.
Too many
Yeah.
Cassiuses. I didn't even know we had that many.
Yeah, Winston was the wrecker of Duke in the 2019.
Which is a bigger
Days.
surprise? Louisville's 1-10 in ACC play. Clemson's 10-2 in ACC play, which is the biggest
I'd have
surprise.
to say Louisville. 1
Oh
and
yeah.
10.
Well, anybody being 1-10
10.
is surprising.
Not Georgia Tech. They're 1-11.
But weren't they pretty good last year?
They won. Well,
Or 2 years
it's
ago?
not that far
years ago.
far away that they won the ACC tournament. Remember?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2021.
Here you go. Jason's just thrown us a little trivia out here. This is the first time since 1960. We're still talking about Duke-Carolina matchup. First time since 1960 that neither what?
Neither team is.
Nothing to do with team. Don't use the word team.
Coach?
Yeah, but first time since 1960 that neither coach is named Krzyzewski or Smith.
Wow, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
So, how about that?
Yeah, that's what that's the
One of those two guys have been coaching in that game
God,
since 1960.
That's amazing.
So, yep. Hey, that goes back before my time. So, sorry, Mike.
Dean Smith was coaching there in 1960?
I guess.
Or 61?
Well, it'd be 61, yeah, since it's since 1960. So,
Yeah.
that is a long time.
Can
That is a
anybody
long
name the
time.
coaches for Duke and Carolina before? Before.
Well, I can name
in
one before
1960.
Krzyzewski, and that's one of the Fosters. Was it
Yeah,
Bill?
Bill Foster.
Bill
yeah.
Foster. Because there's a Bill Foster at Clemson and a Bill Foster,
Bill
at
Foster
Duke
at
at the
Duke.
same time,
Correct.
which is strange enough in itself. Well, Carolina's before it has to go back
Well,
to
who's McGuire?
Al McGuire.
Frank.
Frank McGuire. Yes.
It says, Dean Smith took over in 61.
61 to 97.
He was an assistant from 58 to 61.
Mm-hmm.
At Carolina or at Kansas?
Carolina.
Was he at Kansas?
Kansas,
He coached at
then
or
Air
just
Force.
play? Okay.
And then Carolina.
Okay. Yep, that goes back a long ways. I'd say most people on Earth today were born after that. They have to be. Were born after that. So first game since that neither one of those two guys will be coaching in it, and you wonder how many years was it that it was Smith and Krzyzewski together on those two benches.
Well,
how many years did that happen in a row?
Krzyzewski came to Duke in 80, so when did Dean retire?
97.
97.
So-
17 years.
18.
Kay did
you didn't want
miss-
to add that one either, like Lanny don't do. 18.
Kay did miss
seasons.
a couple of those. Was it
17 years, but
95?
18 seasons.
Oh, that's right.
95, I think he missed both.
He bowed out
matchups.
early with a back problem.
Which that's when the Capel shot happened.
That's
when
right.
Coach K was
Okay,
out.
now-
Coach K was out.
Is this right, Mike? Ned says earliest name I remember Duke is Vic Bubas.
Mhm.
Yep, 60s.
Did he not coach at State too, or play at State, or what's
He
his?
played at State.
Played at State. Okay.
Hey,
And coached
he
at
was
Duke.
very successful. They went to the Final Four at least 2 or 3 times when Bubas was there. Now they ran up against UCLA. You know what that resulted in? A blowout loss.
Lenny says Bubas, Bucky Waters, Neil
Bucky Waters.
Neil McGahey,
Neil
and Bill
McGahey.
Foster were the Duke coaches that faced.
That's right.
I guess this is the ones that faced
Dean. Yeah.
before Krzyzewski
That's right.
arrived.
Bucky Waters.
All I can remember is Steve K telling me the story of going in the restroom at a Duke and for some I don't know if Bucky Waters was coaching at the time or if he had already stepped down or whatever.
No.
You guys remember the story I'm gonna
No,
tell you?
refresh me.
You ever have a urinal conversation
Yeah.
where somebody's beside you and you just start talking to the guy beside you at the urinal?
Yeah.
Steve said he was.
that's happened.
It's either Steve or Gene one talking to Bucky Waters while they were at the urinal, and Bucky says, "We got our hands full tonight."
Yeah. Right.
And they didn't.
Double
Obviously, they
entendre.
didn't know if they were still discussing the game or not
Why not?
at that point. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
And who
Steve will
did,
have to. Steve will have to correct us on that of which
I
one
want
of
to
the
say that was Gene.
or
I could
which
be
one of
wrong.
the two was. It sounds more
That
like
sounds
a Gene,
like a
though.
Gene story.
Yeah, it sounds like Gene. Yeah. If only we could tell the Mickey Mantle one on the air, it would be so
Yeah, we
good.
can't do that.
Maybe one day.
In respect to the memory of the Sultan of SWAT. No, that was
Babe.
bad. But
Gene
anyway,
did
man.
not ride in a car with Babe. He did ride in a car with Mickey Mantle. He drove Mickey Mantle around.
Yeah.
Clemson's in first place. Virginia second. Both teams have just 2 losses. Virginia has 1 less win. Pitt, NC State, the Miami Hurricanes. They're not going anywhere as long as Jim Larinaga is in charge down on South Beach, right? They're just gonna stay in there, and they're the only team ranked in the country out of the ACC other than Virginia and Clemson. Then you go to Duke, comes in at 7-4. You know what? 7-4, 16-6. I know they seem like they suffered most of their losses there at one time, but 16-6 is about what you'd expect for a first-year coach with playing just about all freshmen.
You knew there were going to be it's going to be a transition, and there were going to be some struggles. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yep. I think the Carolina fans are definitely more upset with the 15-7 than Duke is with the 16-6.
Because they were the consensus number one.
Yeah.
With everybody back off last year's runner-up.
So at this point, you would, if you're Carolina, I think you would be happy had it been. Let me find them again. They're 15-7. You'd have probably took 19-3.
Yeah, you'd want to be
happy.
Their expectations would be around 19-3.
What's the worst loss for you Carolina fans? What's the worst one you've had this year? Which one really gripes you that you didn't? It might have just been Wednesday if it was a 1-point game, or Thursday, whatever night you said that was.
That had to be.
But I just wonder, what is the worst loss that they've?
I know what mine is as a Duke fan.
What is it?
84-60 NC State thumping.
Yeah, that was a thumping. That was thumping. But sometimes, though, Mike, the 1-point loss hurts you a lot worse mentally than the. You know, if you get your tail kicked, you just got your tail kicked.
Carolina lost
by 1,
by 2 at Pitt,
and 1 at home.
And 1 at home.
Yeah,
and their other losses.
And it might be those. I don't know.
They lost to Virginia, at Virginia by 7, at Virginia Tech by 8, at Indiana by 12, at Alabama, or that might have been in the tournament. I can't remember.
How much to Alabama?
2, 103-101. Alabama.
Wow.
They lost to Iowa State. I think that was a tournament. Iowa State.
The teams they've lost to are good teams.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, they haven't had a real stinker. Most of them.
Jason says of the 7 losses, 2 came without Baycott. Another was a 4 overtime loss to Alabama.
That was it. Yeah.
Right.
The worst loss is Virginia Tech.
8
to
points.
Jason. He said the worst loss for him.
And Duke lost there too at Virginia Tech.
Well, Virginia Tech at home. If they're shooting the basketball,
and
they're hard to beat.
Virginia Tech lost every conference game between those two.
7 in a row.
They beat Carolina, lost 7 in a row, and then beat Duke.
Correct.
The 2 games, this is Jason Steele, the 2 games against the Virginia teams didn't have Baycott. So the 2 against them did not have Baycott.
That's a big difference.
Jason Monty says Hills went 13-22 from the free throw line against Pitt. That's got to kill you too.
That's terrible.
Because usually they're going to shoot 80% as a team, you know, and that right there would be what, about 60, roughly 60 to 65.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
And you look at that.
Don't want you doing that, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, you look at that whole picture, and I'm like you. I feel like when come tournament time. You know, I'm not saying they're going to win the national title, but they're going to be playing better than they are right now.
Yep.
I think Carolina's good enough to get it together and go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
I don't think Duke is good enough to do that.
No, they're not.
No.
I mean,
Duke would be lucky to make the Sweet 16.
Not, and Brett knows I don't even watch a full game. I can't do it.
I don't think Duke's a Sweet 16 caliber team.
I see Duke winning the game.
Confucius over there.
But second round could be a problem, and you're right.
A-game. A-game. I thought you meant tonight. I thought you'd cracked up, so to speak. But I thought you said winning tonight.
I really think this is a year where they don't beat Carolina either time.
Well, they shouldn't talent-wise.
No. So. Talent or experience.
Yeah. We got to take our time out. Don't forget, if you want to give me your favorite song named after a woman, your favorite song, whether it's rock, R&B. Barry White probably had a few, didn't he, Jason? Let's see. You go ahead and send that to me because I'm going to reveal those top 20 shortly.
I got a good observation about Barry White songs. I can't tell you on the air. I'll tell you later.
Or as Eddie Murphy called him one time on one of the, what was it? Was it Trading Places or what? He called Barely White.
Barely White.
Called him Barely White. Mm-hmm. But I do want to bring this up real quick. Somebody in here last Saturday said Oklahoma just seemed primed to pull off an upset of Alabama. And Brett sent me a message later that night and said
They did.
they
Killed
did.
them.
You called it.
Beat them bad.
He said they wore them out.
Wore them out.
I don't know why. I kept ringing in my head that was, but
And somebody in here is 11-1 in the NFL playoff picks.
yeah, somebody in here. Well, if somebody brings it up, it must be that somebody, just like it was with
And
me.
the one loss, the team had a 27-0.
The one game
lead.
he lost in the playoffs, he missed. We need to take Brett to Vegas right now and bet something. He has been hot in his NFL picks. I went 1-3 last week, I think. Brett got all 4.
No, there's only 2 games
2.
left.
Well, I was going to week.
I was 1-1.
Okay, back to the divisional round. I think I went 1-3. Last week I was 2-0. I did get Philly and KC right.
Yeah.
But the week before that, I was.
We all picked
horrible.
We all picked Kansas City last week.
Got another one coming in here that I'm not sure it made the list, but I've had 3 people pick this as their favorite song.
With a woman's name in the title.
You want to guess what it is? That 3 people have actually sent that to me.
Michelle, my belle.
And Lanny also mentioned it as well.
Oh, Brandy.
You're
a fine
Great
girl.
song. One-hit wonder, too. A one-hit wonder.
Looking Glass? No.
Looking Glass. That is it.
Glass.
We're going to take a time out. Back with more sports talk in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. Second half coming up. We always play better after halftime, don't we? Well, maybe not. Matter of opinion. I got a Rodney Willis message yet this morning? What's up with my man?
Yeah.
No, nothing from Rodney this morning. I know Rodney's coming to find me today. I owe him a little cash. So he's going to come find me today. And I think he's bringing some other mobsters with him to make sure he collects that cash. We'll see how that goes.
Note from Marco Arias. We'll know if we had talked about high school basketball yet, but we are.
Getting ready to get into those scores here in just a few minutes. We really are. Marco, I'm not going to cover high school basketball unless Marco can send me his favorite song named after a female.
We're not going to mention Lincoln's win last night.
You just did.
I know.
But yeah, come on, Marco. What's your favorite song of all time named for a female? And some of these that are rolling in, I'm going to start giving you a few of those. Monty Moss Taylor, I shouldn't. Let's see.
Well, there's a song with a woman's name in it, David, by your all-time favorite group. Did you know that?
What is it?
Peg,
what's the song?
Steely Dan.
Peg, yeah, Peg. I like the song Peg, but it wouldn't be one of my. It's not one of my favorites by Steely Dan, and it wouldn't be my favorite song named after a female as well. Rodney, I'll go ahead and tell you this. Yes, send me something that you would like it how you want it worded. Send me something how you want it worded, and I will definitely mention the scholarship fund in honor of Jonathan Schrantz. That's why.
I got in that pool this week.
Good. That's the money situation. That's why I would the money. The money's
I'd like to contribute to that.
Well, he's coming to see us this morning at breakfast, I think. So you'll have that opportunity. Maybe he can come and join us at breakfast this morning. Rodney will text me when he heads toward this area, and I'll tell him where we're eating breakfast this morning. I got a mess here. I got a phone here that I've just screwed up completely. I'm going to go through here real quick and read some. Monty Moss Taylor says, look and see if you got anything on Facebook. I'm expecting Marco to give you an answer at some point.
He hasn't yet.
I've got Brandy here by Looking Glass coming from Monty Moss Taylor. I'm going to scroll back through Jason says Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, which is definitely a classic. Richard Howe gave me 3. Sarah Smile, Brandy, and Come On Eileen. Brandy seems to be the popular choice in the with our listeners. Anyway, it seems like we've got more Brandies. Don Revels says, I don't think this one's been mentioned all morning.
What is it?
Don Revels says, okay, I'm going to give you a hint.
All right.
8th inning at Fenway.
Sweet Carolina.
Yeah, Mike mention it
Did
off
he?
the air
Okay.
a few minutes
And that
ago.
has become a song that's played at all kind of sporting events everywhere.
Yep. Here's a good one that I hadn't even thought of because Ned sends me one. This one has not crossed my mind. And it also begins with sweet. I actually think the name of the song doesn't begin with that, though, Ned. I think the name of the song is just The Girl. Southern Rock. There's you a hint. Southern Rock.
Melissa.
Yes.
Sweet Melissa.
Isn't the name of it just Melissa?
I think you're right.
But they does say Sweet Melissa just
I know
about
another
every time
song
he mentions.
starts with the word sweet, but it's S-U-I-T-E, not S-W-E-E.
Sweet Judy Blue
Sweet
Eyes.
Judy Blue Eyes.
Oh, I was thinking
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Sweet 104 or something like that. A Residence or something.
We know Allman Brothers also have one called Jessica
Oh,
that
yeah. which
doesn't
is
have any
instrumental.
lyrics.
Love that song.
I
Yeah,
would
I'm still
tell you-
waiting, Mark.
I would
What
tell you,
about-
tell me a few
for
words,
your-
but obviously that's not going to happen.
The Grateful Dead's Althea,
Althea.
Yeah.
and they got a couple of those.
I think Jason has an aunt named Althea.
Althea.
Am I right about that, Jason?
Yeah, Althea Poston.
Yeah. Sweet
Sure.
thing.
Remember her.
How
They
about
also,
that?
Grateful Dead also,
Who
also has
expected us this
Bertha.
morning, Jason, to give a sweet thing reference?
I don't know if you mentioned this. Did Mrs. Robinson make the list?
Mrs. Robinson.
Oh,
by
yeah,
the-
Mrs.
by,
Robinson by Simon and
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, not many with last names.
Ned says you're right about the name Melissa. Just had the chorus floating in my head. I love it. Now you're going to have some songs in your head all day long. Because,
How about this? Wendy by the Beach Boys. Wendy.
Oh, no. The only Wendy to mention is the association.
Well, that's right. That's a good one, too.
Everyone knows it's Wendy. And that one hadn't crossed my mind either.
Yeah.
Right?
Walking down the street, something like that.
Jason says yes to
Georgia
the aunt.
Brown.
Yep, Sweet Georgia Brown.
I can't get the Globetrotters out of my
What
head.
about,
That's all I think about is the Globetrotters.
And how
Metal Like
about-
Lemon comes to mind, and Curly Neal.
Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys.
Barbara Ann?
Or Help Me Rhonda.
Okay, I can't think of Barbara Ann without thinking of Bomb Iran. And Brett's too young to know what I'm talking about there, but Lanny and Mike should know exactly what I'm talking about. when
That
I
sounds
say
like a Weird
Bomb
Al.
Iran. Was that a Murphy in the Morning or a John Boy and Billy takeoff? John Boy and Billy? Was he already then by the Iran controversy? Yeah, another favorite song of mine is Proud Mary, says Jason. But now, okay,
Well,
Jason, you tell us this because we had this discussion off the air. Is that about a female or is that about a boat?
I contend it's about a boat on the Mississippi.
Yeah. You know what? You might not even be able to tell by the lyrics
Maybe not.
if it's about a female or about a boat. But I do want to know that. Lenny, Maggie May, Sherry. Maggie May's Rod Stewart. Sherry is
shit.
yeah, Four Seasons.
Oh,
Frankie
yeah,
Valley.
Sherry,
Frankie
yeah.
Valley's what I was trying to think
Absolutely.
of. And My Sharona by the Knack.
The Knack.
Yes.
It would have been Murphy because you're talking about the first
But I am.
in 76.
I thought it was Murphy. I thought
That would have been John Boy.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Sherry, how about My Cherie Amour by Stevie Wonder?
that's a good one. That is a good one.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that a whole name?
Here's Marco,
Cherie
Candy
Amour.
Girl. He's going with Candy Girl.
Candy Girl.
But wait a minute, is that okay? Is that her name?
I can't think of the song.
Can't either. You know that
No,
one? Brett?
Jackson 5.
No, you can't use that unless her name's Candy.
Is that Jackson
Is her
5?
name Candy, Marco? Because it has to be a
Has to
name
be
of
a
hers.
name.
You can't
A
just
proper
use
name.
not like Witchy
Yeah.
Woman and
Yeah.
Well, what about 4th of July, Asbury Park with Sandy in parentheses?
I'll take it. It's not on the list though, but I know it's one of your favorites because it's from the boss, himself. Last night, high school basketball in our area. Going to try to give you now this. People that listen to our show every week know that hit and miss here with some of the. Jason says, according to Google, Proud Mary is a riverboat. About a
Right.
riverboat. And I thought it was
That's
about
what
a boat.
I thought.
Yeah. You didn't think that
Rosalita?
till I told you, though, Mike. Rosalita's a good one.
Rosalita?
For our Bruce Springsteen
Bruce
fans,
Springsteen
Rosalita.
fans, yeah.
Come Out Tonight is
According
a
to
classic.
song lyrics, Brandy is about a lonely barmaid and not the drink.
That's right.
and
A
Brandy
lonely-
seems to be
Well, she's lonely because she's
Our-
holding out for a guy that's never coming
And
back.
it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Looking Glass did Brandy, and I think a lot of people. It seems like that's the one that's getting more multiple votes in here.
And his lover
than
is
any of the others.
the C.
His lover is the C, not Brandy.
Yeah, he's going to be married to the C. She wants,
and maybe
she's waiting on the guy to come
barrel
back.
of rum.
And both of them are a barrel of rum. They're both probably just.
He hugged a barrel of rum, and his lover was the C.
How about that? That is a great song. It just sounds good. It's got good lyrics and a one-hit wonder, which makes it.
Here's always what
makes
I've
it even
wondered-
more special to me.
Yeah, I've always wondered about one-hit wonders. Why can't they follow up? They do these gems.
I guess when your best song ever is the first one you ever do, and get the
I just wonder
get
what
the
that was
label,
all about.
it's over with.
Okay.
You know. Brandy by the OJs is about a dog, is what Jason says. Candy Girl is by New Edition, he says. Rodney says, Rodney's giving me something I'm going to read here in just a moment as well. And I'll just do it right now before we get into a football pool that's going on that we're getting in. Jonathan Sumo's Front Scholarship Super Bowl fundraiser. The boards are to generate $3,500, which is given away and awarded to an upcoming West Lincoln High School grad in Jonathan's honor. It's a West Lincoln graduate who does not qualify for an athletic or academic scholarship. So this is an extra one on top of those, named in Jonathan's honor. Contact Rodney Willis, and he's throwing his phone number out here to give on the air. 828-455-4801. And if you really are interested in doing that, I'll read that number again later. Get you something to write with, and you can jot the number down. I'll give it a little later in the show, as long as these guys remind me. Don't let me go off without giving that. But everybody who knew Sumo loves Sumo, and we still miss him today. And I think it's a great cause that they're doing a scholarship up there in his honor, because I don't know how many years of his life he devoted to West Lincoln Optimist and high school athletics.
I'd say
most of them.
Most of his life.
Most of his life. So good to see that. Good to see Rodney and the boys working as well. One of the Hausers, you have to help me with his name, Rodney, that's also kind of heading this up. And I'm guessing Brett got
I
one
heard that.
from a
I
college.
heard that name yesterday.
I'll tell you another
But I
scholarship.
can't remember.
I can't either. Well, there's a lot of Hausers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you another scholarship at West Lincoln that's been ongoing for a lot of years. Brad Baxter scholarship, $1,000 a year.
Lost him to cancer. Lost Sumo to a heart attack.
All right.
You know, and
$1,000 a year to a
both
worthy
well
student
deserving.
from West Lincoln.
Mallard Creek beat Huff last night 70-60. Charlotte Country Day over Charlotte Latin 71-60. Let's see. Don't forget, this coming up this week is the final week of high school basketball regular season.
Hard to believe.
Yeah. Then we'll move into conference tournament and then playoffs for Jim Fossil. I'm not Jim Fossil, but Jim Mora.
Right.
Jim
Playoffs.
Fossil was much more a laid-back kind of guy than.
Oh,
than,
yeah.
You know, which team is Fossil's son coaching with now? Is it the Cowboys?
Yeah, I think so.
I see him occasionally on the sideline. Kurt Hauser. Thank you, Rodney.
Kurt Hauser, of course.
Heading this thing up for Johnny, but Rodney is playing a big part in helping him get the squares on the boards. Two boards, a $25 board and a $100
And I've
board.
heard
Is that legal to say?
Filled them up and going.
It is nonprofit.
I think they've got a second $25 one now after the first one filled up.
Yeah, they do. They sure do. Pisgah fell to East Henderson. East Henderson 72-63. Forest Hills over Anson County 69-60. Trying to find West scores as we go along here. Hickory over West Iredale last night. Hickory clinched at least a tie. No, they clinched it. They clinched it outright. 2 games ago, they got a 3-game lead. Right. Beat West Iredale last night 75-31. Let's see. Randleman over Providence Grove 82-41. Randleman's got to where they're pretty good in everything, aren't they? All three major men's sports anyway. How about this one last night in Lawndale? Burns falls to Bessemer City 60-59.
That'd be a good one.
1-point game last night. Now, is Bessemer City or East Gaston one or
they
Shelby?
They just played again. East Gaston's going to win that conference, I think.
Well,
they
as you'll see, East Gaston had a big win last night, too.
Did they? Must have beat Shelby.
They did.
And they beat Bessemer City on Tuesday.
Wow. Tough week, and they won them both.
Well, when I saw them in the People's Bank tournament, I said they'd win the conference.
See who the head coach of East Gaston is.
I don't know.
Interested to know. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Is his initials DH? That's the name that comes to mind. But I'm not sure if he is the head coach there now.
And I heard they had a couple really good players come from West Mech.
Really?
This year, and that's part of why
not far apart.
They're so good.
Well, they do have a 6'7" guy that's pretty good, and maybe he's a West Mac transfer.
Eugene Farrar, head coach. Well, it's got 2 head coaches.
That's not
listed.
DH then.
It's also got Sean Reimer with head coach under his name.
Co-head coaches? Associate head coach?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Lenny?
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know if Lenny would know anything about East Gaston boys this day and time or not. But
I mean, I guess anybody could put something on Max Prep.
I know Lenny knows the DH I was talking about, and that DH might coach their girls. But we'll see. Monroe beat West Stanley 59-58. RS Central rolled over East Rutherford last night, 72-48. Not a normal season for the East Rutherford Cavaliers this year. Ashbrook over Stuart Kramer last night, 53-41. Allegheny over Elkin, 42-32. North Mac falls to Chambers last night.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, number 8 losing to number 13, and that's in all of the state, not just the 4As. 13 Chambers outscores North Mac 67-52, a 15-point win. Myers Park over AC Reynolds, 82-30, as well on Friday.
What are they doing?
Night.
Oh, are they in the same? They're not in the same conference, are they? Or are they?
No, AC Reynolds, Myers Park. I would not think so.
I wouldn't think so.
And also the AC Reynolds, I think next season is getting the state has authorized that they can move down to 3A in the middle of realignment because they dropped over 10% of their student.
Oh, really?
Body.
Over 10?
Yeah, that's what it takes, so they won't let you do it.
That's right.
Let's see. Lenny says West Lincoln girls defeated West Caldwell last night 54-41.
Nice win.
Zoe Owenby, 16 points. Chloe Norman, 15 points, 4 assists. And Carolina Robinson, 15 points. And you want to guess the rebounds? She's their leading rebounder on the team.
12.
22.
What?
22 rebounds last night.
Wow.
For Carolina.
Ask Lenny. Well, Lenny is the starter who missed some games due to high ankle sprain. Is she back?
This is the third time you've asked that he's said yes.
Well, my memory's starting to
I see that.
me.
I see that. Now, she may be out injured again now, but yes, I think it's Bieberich.
Bieberich.
And she is. She was back last time you asked, I know. So I don't know if it's.
She's pretty good. She's kind of a glue of their team.
Let's see. Man, he's got me all tore up here. Lincoln Charter 79, Community School of Davidson 59. Lincoln Charter's record will fool you. It's like 16-11.
Well, unbeaten.
They're 12-0 in conference play.
I saw your standings.
12-0 in conference play there.
And the Lincoln Charter girls are leading.
They are too. And something about Lincoln Charter too, the losses they had, a lot of them were to highly ranked teams in North Carolina and some even nationally ranked teams.
Yeah, they do play a very ambitious schedule.
South Point beat Kings Mountain 61-47 last night. North Iredale over Statesville 66-60.
North Iredale, pretty good ball club.
Yeah, they are. Twice. They are. I mean, they're not great. They're not going far in the playoffs, but they're solid. You know, I mean, they're going to.
Well, they lost
should
to
finish
Hickory
above
71-60 this week,
right.
Which is competitive.
It is. It is, and we know they beat East Lincoln.
Beat East Lincoln
last week. We were talking about that. They knocked off East Lincoln a week ago.
And took it.
And didn't you tell me they knocked Hickory out of the playoffs last year?
That's right.
They were good enough to do that. Hickory's better this year, and North Iredale's not quite as good, but they did knock them. They eliminated Hickory last year, according to Mike Powell.
North Iredale's got a good big man. I can't think of the kid. Beckham
Tharp. Yeah.
6'8", 6'7".
Beckham. Gotta like it. Ashboro beat North Davidson 55-48. Salisbury over Lexington 97-52.
Yeah, Salisbury's going to be tough in the 2A playoffs.
You think? They should be. Down on the coast, Manteo 60, Northeastern 55. That's actually even beyond the coast.
Yeah.
Not that they were.
That's out to sea.
Not that they were
across the sea
playing in water. Eugene Gino Farah is the boys coach at East Gaston, and DH is the former West Lincoln boys coach, right? Exactly. That's who I was thinking about. He is the girls coach, which is not designated hitter. I was giving you a hint there with that DH. David Hansel.
Oh.
David Hansel. I like that guy. I really do. Hunter Huss over Forest View, 80-60 last night, a 20-point win for the Huskies. In the far western part of the state, Hiawassee Dam beat Highlands 81-50. Also last night, East Forsyth beat R.J. Reynolds 65-40. Kinston, 16-point win last night, 72-56 over Wallace Rosehill. Northwest Cabarrus falls to Concord. Concord 50-43. What's Concord basketball like these days, Brett? It used to be a really good program back in the day. What was the guy's name? Bo Brickles? Is that his name, Mike?
Bo Brickles?
Is that it? Somebody help me with that.
Bo Brickles is a former Davidson coach.
Right, and then after they retired, he coached it.
Did he?
He coached at Concord for several years and had good teams.
Cabarrus and J.M. Robinson have taken over Cabarrus County basketball. And they have a couple private schools
Cabarrus for
around
sure.
there, too.
Central Cabarrus has really taken over. Number 17, Mount Tabor beats Winston-Salem Glen 66-35. Scotland County over Pinecrest 81-78 last night. North Surrey 79, Mount Airy 62. Now that's a battle of heavyweights, is it not? Or Mount Airy down a little bit in basketball. North Surrey, we know.
North Surrey is really good.
Yeah, they're always good. But they beat Mount Airy, which is a county rivalry game there, 79-62. I don't think those schools are about 10 miles apart, maybe. Big crowd, I would bet you that at that one last night. Mike, I got nothing here on Highland Tech and Cherryville.
Oh, I'll see if I can
see
find.
anything?
I'll find a score.
Missing score on Highland Tech and Cherryville. And Cherryville had a big win this week.
Oh,
tell what they did.
Beat Bessemer City.
Knocked off Bessemer City.
That's right.
They sure did.
And by the way, there's going to be, I don't know whether it was last night or next week, it's going to be Scott Harrell night. His final home game.
How about that? It's got to be this week
at Nixon Gym.
Yeah. Now we don't know how they do their tournament or anything, so he might get a tournament game at home. But he's you do it in the final regular season to confirm that.
22 years, 21 years, 23 years.
Just what you said here, Mike. Lenny says Bo Brickles went to Concord after his Davidson years, and he was he had some really good teams at Concord. I do remember that.
Yep.
Back in the day. So no score from Highland Tech and Cherryville as we roll on through here. East Gaston 63, Shelby 61. A tight one last night in Shelby, but East Gaston gets the big win. They beat Bessemer and Shelby in the same week. That's big. Probably clinched the – I'm guessing.
I think they've
probably clinches the conference championship with those two wins. East Lincoln rolls over St. Stephen's 73-53. South Stokes 75, Starmount 51. Let's see. North Lincoln defeats Fred T. Ford last night, 65-52. Carson 75, East Rowan 38. Bishop McGinnis over Carver last night, 67-25. The Carver Athletics has slipped a little bit, it seems like, as of late. Usually look for them to be strong in football and basketball, but I don't think it's been that way here for a little bit of time. Sun Valley 66, Porter Ridge 52. Lake Norman Charter over South Rowan 76-40. Here you go, the aforementioned Central Cabarrus. They beat West Rowan last night. West Rowan, since a long time's had good basketball program.
Well, them and Concord used to have a great rivalry in basketball as two of the top teams in that area. 44-point
win last night for Central Cabarrus over West Rowan, 101-57. A.L. Brown 61, South Iredale 50. Mount Pleasant over North Stanley 74-62. East Mac defeats Independence 65-62. I'm not sure this one's right, but Wilson Prep beats Weldon 37-17. Very low scoring contest. I thought that was halftime, but maybe not. Let's see. Nanahala, Blue Ridge Early College. How about that? 64, Nanahala 33. Charlotte Catholic beats Butler last night. Is that a big win in that league? 47-44. I know it's a tight win. Didn't win by much.
Yeah, probably so. I don't think that conference is as good as a couple of the other conferences in Charlotte.
Richmond County beat Lee County 86-34. Rocky Mount over Southern Nash 72-51. Nothing there on Tarboro and Perkins last night in their contest. Providence over Rocky River 84-72. You find something, Mike? Not yet. You just
I did not find the score, but last night was Scott Harrell's last home game.
Last night was the final one? Okay.
Yeah.
Polk County last night wins at home against Chase 65-63. Olympic over South Meck 69-46. Oak Grove loses to Ledford. Ledford 43. Oak Grove 41. Jack Britt, Cape Fear. Mike's got to have that Cape Fear score every week. Cape Fear wins last night, Mike, 71-52.
Somewhere Max Cady is smiling.
Yeah, but they just played one guy. Jack Britt. I mean,
yeah, that's right. We can be one guy.
Had his work cut out for him, didn't he? Last night, along with senior. Let's see. This is from Ned. Ned sent you some messages there, Mike. You could look at those and comment on them if you want to. More scores from last night. West Forsyth over Davie County, 66-56. Would that have drew a big crowd, Brett?
Probably so.
You know how Davie County fans are. They bring a load to everything. And last night,
Catholic
losing by 10.
I didn't realize Catholic and East Meck were in the same conference.
Both 4As.
So Catholic's 10-1, East Meck 8-2. And then Butler fell to 8-3 after losing to Catholic.
And I saw
so it was a big.
I saw
game.
East Meck beat East Lincoln by 20.
Yeah.
So they're good if they were able to beat East Lincoln by 20. It was South Garner over Cleveland 70-58. Lincoln defeats East Burke last night on the road 52-33. Brad, I know you mentioned that to me earlier. Did you have any notes on it at all? I don't have any individual scoring or anything like that on that.
No, when I checked Max Preps last night, it didn't have any individual scoring, just the final score.
I know East Lincoln. I know Lincoln has a tough week coming up. They host Maiden on Tuesday and West Lincoln in that rivalry game on Thursday.
Lincoln had another strong first quarter, 20-point first quarter last night.
Yeah. And then it's like it.
Only 3 in the second quarter.
Yeah, they had a game like that the other night, I think, where they outscored somebody 21-1 in a quarter, and then saw it shrink quite a bit before they did hold on to win. I think it was Bandy's, if I'm not mistaken. Patton over Brevard 60-53. It was West Henderson 68, Franklin 62, Alexander Central 60, South Caldwell 46, Robbinsville 53, Hayesville 42. White Oak over Richland 60-42. Maiden over Bunker Hill 77-63 in that contest. North Buncombe I was about to give that wrong, and I thought, that's no way that's possible, and I was correct. It was Inca defeating North Buncombe last night, as my screen just went black on me. Don't know what happened there. See if I can get it back. Inca defeated North Buncombe. Do you see the score, Brett? I'll let you say it right quick while computer's trying to come back up here. While we're waiting on it here for just a second, we'll go ahead and let you know that this is the final week of the regular season coming up this week in high school basketball. Then we move into a full week of conference tournament play, and the playoffs will begin.
Did you give West Lincoln West Caldwell?
After that. Did I skip it? I've still got more here.
Okay.
If I don't give it, you stop me.
I'm just surprised by how close it was.
West Lincoln, West Caldwell.
Yeah.
Boys, what was it?
69-67.
Really?
West Caldwell.
Wow.
By 2.
West Caldwell is leading the conference. They're undefeated in conference play.
Yeah.
So, the West boys go up there or at home?
Yeah, it says it was at West Caldwell.
Wow.
Finally got the score of that Cherville Highland Tech game.
Okay.
Ironman win it 62-48.
On Scott Harrell night.
On Scott Harrell night at Nixon Gym.
Yep, he's had quite a career.
Over 400 wins, winningest coach in Gaston County.
In Gaston County. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were going to say Cherville with that, but you went with Gaston
Yeah,
County.
yeah, that's
more than
right.
G.C. Harrell. And how many? Wonder how
more
many
than
he had.
G.C. Harrell.
I think somebody might have broke his record in between there
Yeah.
at some point, but I can't remember who that would have been.
New coach, by the way, will be Antonio Griggs, who's been
Okay.
a long-time assistant.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Yeah, I remember him playing.
Millbrook 83-60 over Wakefield. Reedsville 60-43 over West Stokes. Havelock loses to South Central 71-49 last night. Greensboro Dudley over Rockingham County 72-48. Freedom over Ashe County 76-62. Murphy over Andrews 69-50. North Stokes 80. East Wilkes 51. West. Here we go. Tuscola. Smoky Mountain beats Tuscola last night, 64-48. Watauga loses to High Brighton. High Brighton 62. Watauga 51 last night. Combine Academy goes down last night. They're ranked number 1 in the state of North Carolina. They lose to Camden. I'm guessing that's Camden, South Carolina. For all I know, it might be New Jersey.
Yeah.
Camden with the win over Combine, 80-57. Let's see, Camden. Would it be on my sheet here telling me where they are? It does not. It just says Camden. Even whenever I hover over it, it doesn't tell me exactly which one it is. East Surrey beats Forbush 90-57. T.C. Roberson over Irwin 68-39. On the coast, Hoggard beat Ashley last night 44-41. God, I was wanting to give you a name.
Camden, New Jersey.
Is it New Jersey?
Yeah.
How about that? Like I said, for all I know, it could be Camden, New Jersey, and there you have it. Here it is, Brett. West Caldwell 69, West Lincoln 57. 69-67.
Oh,
69-67.
Heck of an effort by West Lincoln.
No kidding. Just about pulled off the miracle.
Wow.
But they didn't. I mean, that's a heck of an effort. I'll give them that. Ned says, what I meant, Coach Harrell shared the night with the senior players. He will continue as the athletic director for a couple more years before retiring altogether. So there you have it. Let's see. McDowell loses to Asheville. Asheville 67-47. Newton Conover defeats Bandy's 55-46. Surrey Central 66. North Wilkes 56 last night. Greensboro Page over Western Guilford 80-57, and Mountain Heritage. I would like to know their record, Brett. Are they undefeated? Just
I don't know if they're
loss?
undefeated, but I know they're really good. One of the top ranked teams.
Mountain Heritage beat Madison last night by a score of 80-35. So a rundown of your boys' scores from
20
last
and
night.
1.
20-1. Yeah, and don't know
Their
who that
loss
one
was to Inca, which is
a very
3A.
good team. A very good team. Very good 3A team. All right, we're going to take our final time out. Come back, I'll give you those songs that way the TV show had them ranked anyway from last night when we come back.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
All right, here we go. I'm going to give you those songs here in just a second, but Lenny has sent me some tremendous trivia that I'll throw out there at you guys, okay? Some tremendous trivia.
Tremendous trivia.
You guys are familiar with the Montreal Expos.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long they've been gone. Where did they move to?
I think
Washington?
I know where this is going.
You already know the
we
answer?
got Tom.
Nope. So now we don't have any fantastic trivia.
Okay.
Well, I know it. Sorry.
This is something
Yeah,
that
you know how
nobody
I
would
feel,
know
right?
this is something nobody would know though unless they heard it this week, isn't it? I mean, you just wouldn't.
Oh
know
yeah,
it.
I wouldn't know it.
Name the last Montreal Expo player in professional sports. That's pretty good. The last Montreal Expo player in professional sports.
Well, in professional sports, it had to be baseball, of course. Expo.
I love the way Mike.
Yeah, but
This guy never played.
Mike's already
This guy
wrong.
never played for the Montreal Expos.
Right. He was drafted by them.
Yeah.
Though.
So that's I mean that's really set up as a trick question.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
It is. He was drafted by the Montreal Expos.
And when I started to say it, I didn't know you were going to ask it. I thought you were just going to tell the fact.
Larry Walker's what Rodney guessed. That's a pretty good guess. Larry Walker playing for. But I'll go ahead and give this to you. The last active Montreal Expo player in professional sports retired this past week, and his name is Tom
Brady.
Tom Brady. Here's the catch. Lenny puts it on. Here's the catch. He never played for the Expos, but was drafted by them in '95 as a top catching prospect. So
wow.
was going to be a catcher for the Expos. I can't imagine him not being a pitcher if it's Tom Brady, right?
6'4".
Yeah.
Good on.
And I want to say something last week. Rodney supplied me some information last week. We were talking about guys that went to the University of Cincinnati, and we said I thought that one guy might be the biggest name, and then I instantly said no, it was not. It was what was the guard basketball? Oscar Robertson. Lanny said not Lanny. Rodney said I might still be wrong of Oscar Robertson being the biggest name ever out of Cincinnati. So, what do you think? You guys got a clue at all who I'm talking about that came out of Cincinnati, probably in the 50s or 60s, and was a tremendous,
greater than the Big O,
tremendous athlete. I thought the Big O played in the early 60s, so I don't know if he was
Frank
later
Robinson?
or earlier than him.
Just a guess.
That's funny, Mike. You're on the right sport.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He was a baseballer. A baseballer. And one of Brett's favorites all times. He just don't know it. He never saw him play, obviously.
Right.
But he'd still be one of his favorites of all time.
Ooh.
So
he must be a Dodger.
There's your little
Sandy Koufax.
Bingo.
Wow.
Didn't take him long, did it?
No, it didn't.
Sandy Koufax. I
didn't
never
know.
knew.
Didn't know
he went
did
to the
not
University of
either.
Cincinnati. And Rodney had
That's-
supplied me
That's weird.
with that information. It is, isn't it? Yep. He should have stayed and played for the Reds.
Did he actually play at Cincinnati?
I guess. I don't.
And born in Brooklyn,
Well, maybe at that time they're
drafted by the Dodgers.
They're the only ones
I
might
mean,
have gave him an opportunity.
that just seems strange.
Songs named after a female. I'm going to start with number 20 and work my way up, okay? If you guys want to comment on any, stop me, okay? Here we go. Songs named after a female.
This says, Koufax attended the University of Cincinnati and was a walk-on on the freshman basketball team.
Wow.
He later earned a partial scholarship. In spring of '54, he made the college baseball varsity team.
So it took him that long to make the team.
In his only season, he was 3-1 with a 2.81 ERA, 51 strikeouts.
You need to watch the video Rodney sent me of Pete Rose talking to Colin Cowherd about Koufax. Pete Rose said I was terrible against him. He said, if you can't hit your weight, he said, I weighed 202 at the time, and I couldn't hit my weight against Koufax. He said, I hit about 170. But you just need to see Pete Rose and his description of that. I thought it was incredible. So here's your songs. You listening, Mike? You
Yes.
ready for them? Number 10, Janie's Got a Gun. Who's it by?
Okay.
I'll just let
Aerosmith.
I'll let you guys name the artist if you know him. Maria.
Oh, that's Santana and Rob Thomas.
Yep, Santana featuring Rob Thomas. Betty Davis Eyes.
Oh,
Mike did not come up with that one. That's before Brett's time.
You got Betty Davis eyes. I can't think of her name.
Kim Carnes.
Kim Carnes.
Jane Says. Brett should
that's
get this one.
Jane Says. Jane's Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to give you a hint and say I gave you part of it.
Yeah.
I gave you the part of the name. Jane's. I'm not even sure I'm familiar with
The
that.
great
I've heard it happen.
Harry Farrell.
Lithium.
Jane
Station.
Says by Jane's Addiction. Number 16, Gloria by
Van Morrison and Them.
Them. That's what it's got
Them,
here.
Yeah.
Hey There, Delilah. I love that song. I really did love that song. And that's a 90s or early
I think
2000.
Yeah, maybe early to mid 2000s.
Tom Jones. No, Tom.
Now, you heard me say 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, this
didn't
is
you?
a group.
I don't think Tom Jones was coming out with any new music in
No,
the 2000s.
That's true.
It's a group that had they had a couple hits.
There's probably one laying in here. There's probably one laying in here if I could just find it. I guarantee you there's one in here. One in one of these boxes. Does that help?
White tees. What is it?
Plain
white tees.
The plain white tees. And that's kind of what everybody calls me, Brett and Mike, as well. The plain whiteys. Rosanna by
Those one-hit wonders sometimes
Toto.
get me.
Toto. They were not a one-hit
No,
wonder.
they weren't. Africa.
Which that just made me think of Roxanne that we missed.
Don't forget Africa.
did miss
Yeah,
Roxanne.
Turn on the love light.
This makes me sad. Number 12, and it should not be this low. Layla.
Yeah.
Derek and the Dominoes. Number 11. Brett mentioned it earlier. We called her a godmother.
Jolene
by
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. Now, the top 10, number 10. Now, this is not mine. This came off of TV last night on the Axis Network.
Right.
Number 10, you should know every single one of them. It don't have the artist beside it, but I'm going to expect you to know them.
We should.
Number 10's Roxanne.
The Police.
The Police. Number 9, Come On Eileen.
Dexy's Midnight Runner.
Number 8, Mary Jane's Last Dance. So they do include
Tom Petty.
Number 7, not mentioned, Oh Sherry.
Journey.
Yes, Journey. Number 6, Maggie May.
That's my favorite.
Mine too. It might be mine. That one or another one that's not even in the top 20 for some reason that we've talked about all morning. Brandy's not even on the top 20.
Wow.
So that worries me.
That does worry me.
It's about a drink.
Maggie May was Rod Stewart. Number 5 is Rhiannon.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Love that one. Number 4 is Angie.
Rolling Stones.
Stones. Yeah.
Rolling Stones. Number 3. Now, you guys can – I've already gave them to you. You think you can remember the top 3?
Eleanor Rigby.
Eleanor Rigby's number 3 by the Beatles.
2 is Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And 1 is Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
Neil Diamond.
And
Neil Diamond.
That was Don Revels. Whenever we had people listing theirs.
Well, let me ask you this,
Don
David, as a
Revels.
Boston Red Sox fan. How did the Boston Red Sox become associated with that song,
I don't know.
Sweet Caroline?
I don't know. Maybe, how does any team
they might have
anywhere
just
get
randomly
associated
started
with
playing
the song?
it.
I mean,
And then
what does Florida play?
it was a big
I won't
sing
back
along.
down.
Yeah.
University of Florida plays I won't back down.
Tom Petty's from Gainesville.
that area. Was Neil Diamond from that New England area?
I thought he was from New York.
I don't
originally.
know. But anyway, the Steelers play Renegade at halftime. Or no, they play Renegade at the start of the fourth quarter. Wisconsin's got a song. What is it? Jump? The football stadium. They play Jump at the end of the third quarter.
Jump around.
Yeah, Jump around.
Well, Carolina plays that
not Van Halen's
at
Jump.
tip-off. Carolina basketball
They do.
does.
I think a lot of schools
I think
do it at
Wisconsin
tip-off.
plays it at opening kickoff.
Okay.
Neil Diamond-
Iowa's got something they play going to the fourth quarter. I can't remember what it is.
Neil Diamond is from New York City.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you remember when the St. Louis Blues made their unexpected run to the National Hockey League Championship?
Sure.
Anyway, they started playing another song named Gloria by Laura Branigan from the 80s.
Yeah.
Because they started winning.
Yeah, that's not good.
Don Revel says Georgia football also plays. I think he's talking about Sweet Caroline.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of places use it now. Probably
Yeah.
a lot of minor league parks.
Well, I've heard it at East Lincoln. Doesn't East Lincoln play it?
Play
They
Rocky
play
Top.
the horse.
They play a lot. Jimmy Cherry's good on his
Jimmy
music.
Cherry.
I think they do
is
Sweet
good.
Caroline
They
at
might.
some point
Yeah.
during their basketball games.
Lenny, a couple comments. He said Kim Carnes. He was guessing the Betty Davis size. He also said, tell Mike, I do remember Tom Jones' Delilah.
That's right.
So he's with you on that as
okay,
well.
good.
And he also said he thinks that Neil Diamond was from New York City.
Yep.
I hope I didn't leave anybody's picks for their songs out this morning. I think I got them all covered whenever they were trying to pick those. So what sporting event are you most looking forward to this weekend?
The weekend we're in right
now? Is there one? Duke Carolina.
Duke Carolina.
I mean, it's still Duke Carolina.
Still Duke
so
Carolina.
that's about it because
It usually has good drama in it. We'll see.
what happens tomorrow, Brett? Anything
Nothing.
major on the schedule for Sunday since there's no – and don't tell me the Pro Bowl because that's a joke.
Yeah.
The Pebble Beach Pro-Am, I don't
Okay, well, that's not
know.
bad.
I mean,
That's not bad.
I don't know.
Any NFL news other than Brady's retirement?
One ranked college basketball team plays tomorrow. Houston and Temple.
My guys, thank you, Ned. My guys were about to let me down here. They did not remind me to give Rodney's phone number out again, but Ned did. If you're interested in getting in on the Jonathan Strantz Sumo Scholarship Fund, Rodney Willis is at 828-455 828-4801. 828-455-4801. It's going for a very good cause, and you might even win some because part of the intake is going to be given away.
This isn't going to happen this weekend, I doubt. But LeBron James is 60-some points away from becoming the NBA's all-time leading scorer.
Oh.
So probably 2 or 3 games away.
He's going to catch Kareem.
They play tonight, and then they play Tuesday and Thursday. So by Thursday, he'll probably break that record if he plays all 3 games.
Where does Wilt Chamberlain stand among all-time scorers in the NBA?
I don't know. I can tell you the top 5.
But Wilt is not among
No.
Okay.
Karl Malone is 3rd.
3rd.
Kobe's 4th. Jordan's 5th.
Jordan's 5th. Okay.
Sweet Caroline was first played at Fenway in 1997 after a Red Sox employee in charge of music at the park played the song as a tribute to a friend who had given birth to a baby named Caroline.
Oh.
The song caught on and has played before the bottom of the 8th ever since.
That's right.
How about that? Before the
So
bottom
it was
of
just
the 8th.
And they also played it in
kind of a random thing, and the fans liked it.
What was the movie Fever Pitch about the Red Sox? Dramatic. Winning, breaking the
what about
curse of the.
What's your question?
They played it They played in that film.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
So that tells you it's been going on that long. What year did you say?
97.
97. Yeah, quite some time.
Yeah.
You know why they don't play it in the 7th inning? At the 7th inning stretch?
I don't know.
I'm guessing most parks still play God Bless America, or at least from time to time play God Bless America.
Yeah, right. God Bless America.
Yeah.
Or Take Me Out to the Ball. Where did Mike come up with that?
Well, they do. That's what the Cubs
do.
The Cubs have.
But there are a lot of occasions, that.
Yeah, God Bless America.
Well, I'm pretty
Bless
sure
America.
Yankee Stadium does God Bless America at the 7th inning stretch.
Nah, nobody cares. It's Yankee Stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, but that became a big thing after 9/11.
I know it
so
did. I'm just kidding. I had to throw that in there for Monty and Rodney. Otherwise, they would have thought I was still asleep this morning. And can't leave them thinking that. Hey, we had a good time this morning. We appreciate you tuning in. For Mike, Brett, I'm David. Tune in next week. We'll be back with Sports Talk.